Welcome to the Medicare Transaction Facilitator Data module, also known as MTFDM, Enrollment Before You Start video. This video is specifically for dispensing entities. Please note the disclaimer on the screen. Before you start, there are two main steps for enrollment. The first is creating or verifying your account as the first user for your organization. 2, it's enrolling your organization in MTF. The workflow is shown in the following figure. The first step, you will receive an email invite to enroll in MTF as your first user for your organization. The next step is to determine if you have CMS ID credentials. For MTF, you will need CMS IDM credentials. This is different than a CMS EUA credential if you have those. If you have a CMS IDM credential, you may simply log on to MTF and set up your account and proceed to enroll your organization in MTF. If you do not already have CMS IDM ID credentials, you will need to click on New Registration, create an account. This will be logged onto MTF after account setup, and then continue to enroll your organization in MTF. Once you have your account and you are ready to enroll, see the following sections for the information you will need to have available. This enrollment process should take you about an hour, about 5 minutes to activate your user account, and then 40 to 60 minutes to enroll your organization. You will need the following pieces of information. First, the first step will be to verify your NCPDP data. The information that is contained in the NCPDP pharmacy database for your organization at the time of enrollment is what the MTF will rely upon to both 1. Identify and validate you as a first user, 2. Pre-populate certain fields in the dispensing entity enrollment questionnaire, if permitted by your dispensing entity. Please ensure this information is up to date prior to the beginning of the enrollment process. You can update your organization's information via the NCPDP website at https://sso.ncpdp.org. You will also need to verify the following organization information in the NCPDP pharmacy database: legal business name, DBA name, store location number, mailing address, business address, your NCPDP provider ID, parent organization ID, relationship ID, and then your pharmacy national provider identifier, your NPI, your state license number, and your federal tax identification number. Once you have your NCPDP data updated, you will receive your invitation and you are ready to enroll. Please have this information handy. 1. A list of your NPIs for which anticipated material cash flow concerns apply and the associated concerns. 2. Information regarding MFP refund payments and/or ERAs or remittance advice sent and made available to a TPSC. Also required will be your financial information, so please have your bank name and your account information. You will also need the contact information identified for primary and secondary contacts: the name, title, email address, and phone number. If you need help completing the enrollment process at any point, please contact CMS at MFP Medicare Transaction Facilitator at cms.hhs.gov.
Welcome to the demo for dispensing entities who are enrolling in the Medicare Transaction Facilitator, or MTF for short. Once you have logged in with the user ID and password you created, you will be on the MTF welcome page. This page contains helpful information related to enrollment, such as resource documents, enrollment timeline, help desk, contact us, sign up for emails. You'll also see a help desk link at the top of the page, my account, and logout. The help desk link will provide you with phone and email. My account will bring you to your MTF profile. This is where you can manage your MTF profile and also your CMS IDM by clicking on Manage Profile Settings. This opens a new tab where you're able to update your personal and business contact information. You can change your password and you can change your security questions. Once you're done here, you can simply close out of the tab and you're back at your MTF profile. Again, this contains information related to your user ID, your role, and your status. It also contains your work email and the organizations that you're associated with. If you're associated with multiple, this dropdown will show you all of them. You can also click on the Administration tab at the top, and this will bring you to Search Users, Invite Users if you're an ASO or an Access Manager, and Search Invitations if you want to see who's already been invited. When you click on the DETPSE Enrollment tab, you're brought to the Dispensing Entity Enrollment landing page. This is where you will begin your enrollment. You select the DE profile. Again, if you're associated to multiple in the dropdown, you will see all of them. I'm only associated to one, so that's all I can do. Next, you will begin with your agreement. As an ASO, you are the only one authorized to sign the agreement. If you are not an ASO and you're an Access Manager or a staff end user, you will need to wait for your ASO to complete this section. Once that is done, then the complete enrollment form will be enabled. The enrollment form is able to be filled out by your ASO or your Access Manager. To sign the Dispensing Entity Agreement, you must be an ASO. If you're not an ASO, the View Agreement button here will be disabled. I'm an ASO, so I can come in and I can view the agreement. And you can scroll through this modal, just explaining what the agreement is. And you will need to fill in some information. You will need to put in your signature, your title, the name of your dispensing entity, your address information, address line 1, address line 2 if you have a second address line, your city, your state, and select from the dropdown, your zip code. The system will automatically put the date and time in for you. If you continue to scroll, you'll see that there is an Exhibit A as well. Just more information for you to read. Once you're done, you simply click the Submit button. If you would like to print, you click the Print button, and it will open a window where you're able to print, which is Download. You can save that information to your desktop. And you'll have it for future reference. Once you're done, close out, and you'll be brought back to the landing page. Now you can see under Sign Agreement is completed, and any user can view it. So again, they can click View, and they will be able to see the entire agreement, who signed it, on what day, and what the agreement contains. They'll also be able to print it and save it. Simply close out of there, and now the ASO or the Access Manager can begin the enrollment form. The Dispensing Entity Enrollment Form should take less than an hour to complete. The Authorized Signatory Official and Access Manager are authorized to complete the enrollment form and certify. Staff end users will be able to view the enrollment form once it's been started and after it has been certified. Once you are ready to begin the enrollment form, click on the Begin Enrollment Form button. You are now in the dispensing entity enrollment form. You will see here at the top, it says dispensing entity enrollment, and here will be your organization name. You will also see the status as in progress. To the left, you'll see all of the sections that will need to be completed and all of the questions within each section. You do not need to go in section order, but you do need to complete each section before you can certify your enrollment. Please ensure you click Save on each page to save your responses. Here you are in Section 1, MTF DM User Roles. If you're an ASO or an Access Manager, you can click Manage Users within your dispensing entity, and you will be brought to the Administration tab. This section is purely informational. It shows the list of dispensing entity users associated with this dispensing entity, their user role, their full name, and their email address. Click Save when you are ready to move to the next section. Section 2 of Dispensing Entity Enrollment is your identification information. After you have read the instructions page, click Save, and you will be asked if you would like to use NCPDP Data Queue to pre-populate your information. If you select No, you'll proceed to have to manually enter your location information. Simply click Add Location, and you can enter all of your information here on the screen. The system will let you know any fields that are required, and it will not let you add it if you do not enter all of the information. Or you can download a template which contains all of the information you see at the top in an Excel spreadsheet. You can fill out the Excel spreadsheet, come back here, and upload the file, and it will populate the table for you. If you instead would like to have your information pre-populated, simply select Yes. It is now asking you to just confirm your information. Once you confirm this information, it will let you know the confirmation is complete and you can move on. If the information shown here is not correct, you either need to go back to NCPDP and update your information or select No to enter it manually or to use the Excel spreadsheet. Once you click Save, you'll see that the information is populated here for you. Every field has been entered where applicable. You can click Save and move to the next question. Here, the system is asking you if you have any dispensing entities self-identifying with anticipated material cash flow concerns. You can select I prefer not to answer or no, and simply be able to move on. If you select yes, you will need to enter the NPIs that have the material cash flows concerns. You can also download a template to enter multiple NPI numbers and then upload that file here. Either way, once you are done, click Save and you can move on. That will bring you into the next section. Section 3 of Dispensing Entity Enrollment is financial information. Once you have read the instructions page, click Save and you'll be brought to question 1. This question is asking if you want to use third-party support entity listed in NCPDP Data Queue to process your MFP refund payments. You can select yes or no. If you select no, you can move on by clicking Save. If you select yes, a list of your current active associated entities is provided. You can choose from one of these by clicking on the Select button, or you can look at all TPSEs in NCPDP by clicking this box here. And all entities will be returned. You can filter on any of these columns. So if you looking for someone specific, you can start typing in the name. So here, if I was looking for festivals and I clicked in the F, typed in the F, you can see any of them are coming up. I can select this one. And if I do select from this list, it will provide the information down below so that you know which one you have selected. If you decide you do not want to use this after all, you can uncheck the box and it will bring you back to your associated entities, and you can select from this list. Once you have made your selection, click Save to move to the next question. The next question is asking if you want to use third-party support entities listed in NCPDP Data Queue to process your ERA remittance advice. You can simply click No and move on, or again, select Yes, and you will see a list of your active associated entities. You can select one of these, or again, you can choose from all TPSEs in NCPDP. Same functionality as the previous screen, where you can filter on all of the columns and select one of these. I'm going to select one, and the system is just saying you have elected to use an entity outside of your current relationship setup. Please ensure this is correct. And here's the entity that you have selected. Click Save, and you move to the next page. Now you're being asked that the dispensing entity and the third-party entity have mutually agreed that the third-party support entity named will act on the dispensing entity's behalf in the specified manner. Click Yes and Save. Now you need to provide your dispensing entity's refund payment preference. From here, you can choose electronic transfer of funds or paper checks. When you select electronic transfer of funds, the information you need to provide is displayed. You will need to fill in all of your banking information, including your account number and routing number, your tax ID number, your NPI, and your address information. You will also need to upload a voided check or a letter from your bank with your account information. If you select paper check, you will need to enter your federal tax identification number, your NPI, and address information. I'm going to select electronic transfer of funds, and I'm going to put in the information. Bank account type, you select from checking or savings. Enter your bank account information. Re-enter your bank account information. You must do this by hand. You cannot copy and paste in here, and these will be checked to ensure they are the same. And enter in your routing information. Again, you will not be able to copy and paste. You will have to enter this in manually. Enter your tax ID number, your NPI, and you can see I put in invalid, so it's letting me know that I must enter a valid format. Enter your dispensing entity's NPI and your address information. Once you have added in your information, click Save. There you go. Click Save, and this is where you will need to upload a financial document. So this will be a voided check or a letter from your bank. Simply come to here, upload your file, select your file, now your upload is complete. You can download a copy of this voided check. You can delete it if you wish to enter a different one. But once you are done, click Save, and you're on question 2. This again is just wanting you to acknowledge that your third-party support entity will receive your MFP refunds or the ERA remittance advice on your behalf. This is what you had selected earlier for your TPSEs. So click that you acknowledge and agree and save. The last question here is asking if the dispensing entity is a nonprofit organization. Simply answer yes or no and click Save. Section 4 of Dispensing Entity Enrollment is MFP refund payment instructions for primary manufacturers who are not participating in the MTF payment module. Once you have read the instructions, save, and you are brought to question 1. Question 1 is asking you to acknowledge that financial information will be shared with primary manufacturers that are not utilizing the MTF payment module. Question 2 is asking you to confirm the TPSEs you have chosen for your MFP refund payments and/or remittance advice. These are the selections you chose in Section 3, questions 1 and 1A. If you chose not to use a TPSE for either, they will be grayed out. So as you can see, these are grayed out. I did not make a selection for remittance advice. I did make a selection for refund payments, so I need to enter the information here. If you do not remember your selection, you can go back to question 1. Nothing will be saved on this page, so don't fill anything out until you have all of your information. So if you need to go back, simply go back to question 1 and note who you chose, the name, and the relationship code. And then you can return to section 4 to enter the information. Again, since you are not saving until you're done, if you go back and forth, your selections will be removed each time. So make sure you have all the information you need, enter that in. You can acknowledge and agree, and then you can move on and save. If at this time you decide you do want to use a third-party support entity, you can go back to question 1A and select one, and this will be enabled. Again, be mindful that when you leave this page, you will lose the information that you have put in. Until you click Save, nothing will be saved. You can now go back. Your information is saved, and then you can change your third party for payments or for remittance. Until you certify, you can change this as many times as you want. Once you are set with your information, again, you can move on. Section 5 of Dispensing Entity Enrollment is your contact information. After you have read the instructions page, click Save, and enter your primary point of contact and your secondary point of contact. You'll need to enter in first name, last name, title, email address, and phone number. A second phone number is optional. The same information is required from a secondary point of contact. Enter their first name, last name, title, email address, and at least one phone number. Once you have entered the information, you can simply click Save to go to the next section. Section 6 is Dispensing Entity Certification. Upon entering Section 6, the system will perform a check to ensure all sections and questions have been answered. If there are any items that need to be addressed, they will be displayed on the screen for you to take action. If everything passes, the status at the top of the page will say Ready for Certification. So you can see this one has passed all of the checks. You can also see here in your table of contents that you've completed 5 of 6 sections. All of the sections have green check marks next to them, indicating that they have been successfully completed. Once you have read the instructions, save, and you are brought to the certification page. First, the authorized signatory official or access manager must certify the information provided in this enrollment form is complete and accurate. Upon clicking Yes, you are now able to enter your name and the date. The only date you will be able to choose is the current date. Once you have entered your information, click Certify, and you have now completed your dispensing entity enrollment.